Hey everybody, this here's Big Will. I am bored and I have a light that's like directly above my little table here. So if I were to try and, take pictures to post anything to Instagram, it wouldn't look very good. So what I decided to do was to just show off some books that I had and whatnot on YouTube rather than trying to post every single one of them because that would take a while and, like I said, wouldn't look too good. So I will be doing that as soon as I get the chat pulled up on the YouTube. That is, I got the chat for StreamYard, but it's delayed, so I might see something, but it'll later date or later time than you actually type it in. So let's see. Pop out the chat. Okay. Then just exit that. And move said chat. Okay. Adjust that there. Okay. Now I can see the chat on YouTube as well. So here we go. I'm going to show off everything that I have. Everything is for sale, but I don't know what I'll have to look up pricing information, and I want to send a few of these things off to get graded. So, but technically everything I'm about to show is for sale. But this isn't an auction or anything. I'm just showing stuff off because I'm bored and it'd take forever to Instagram all this. So this first book, if there was ever a definite 9.8, this book would be a 9.8. Hey, BLC. And what is this book, you might ask? Batman Beyond #1. This book is so much a 9.8. I don't even think it would be. I'm not even going to press it. But this is one I definitely would want to send in rather than try and do raw because the value there. And hey, Disco. By the way, like it says, open invite. If I know you got the wife working at home and BLC's at work, but anyone wants to join, just let me know. And the next book we have here is Spawn #2. What's going on, Scott? And Spawn #2 is, it's an all right book, but what makes this one special is you're too loud. I have no idea what that means. It's a newsstand. Well, still got that comment up. There you go. It's a newsstand. So that's what makes this one pretty nice to have. Next up is also a Spawn. And this one is special because it's #9, the first appearance of Angela. But it's extra special because it's a newsstand. And this one, I believe, is the error where it has newsprint on the inside rather than the standard comic book printing. So this thing needs a press, and then I would probably say it's a 9.6 with a press. It might be a 9.8, but definitely a 9.6. So this is one I definitely know I would want to get graded first. But we have Spawn #9 newsstand. Next up, I have, and Jack B has joined us with the patented greetings from Michigan. And there it is on StreamYard. What's up, Jack? So this next book, I've already had 2 of them and sold both of them. So this is my last one at the moment. X-Men number 4, First Omega Red. This one I might save for a little while later. I don't know. Of course, if someone's willing to really overpay, I'll sell it. But most people don't want to overpay, especially with all this stuff going on right now. Let's see. I'll show that one with the other book that goes with it. Next up, we have here is Rye number 0. It's always a good book to have. And this one's fairly high grade. I know if I get it pressed, it's a 9.6. It may be a 9.8. It depends on how well the press helps, like right here at the top. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that. Yeah, you can see that above the eye at the very top of the book. Depending on how a press will affect that, this would be a 9.6 to a 9.8. Definitely a 9.6 though, but I'll have to see if a pressing will help it, you know. So the next book we have, and by the way, this is going to be a long stream, even if I'm by myself showing off books because I got a lot of them. This next one is also a Bloodshot related book. This is Valiant's Bloodshot number 6. This is the first appearance of Ninjak. And this one is also high grade. It's a 9.6, probably a 9.8. And by the way, JB and BLC, the off air, I was showing you guys some of these. These are all those same books, but they're just in new bags and boards, and I've got to looking at them. So I actually did a whole lot better than we thought. This next book is something that the values on this thing, when you look it up, it shocked me because I knew it was something that people liked, but I didn't know they liked it this much. Like, I think a 6.0 of this thing is like a $40 book, a $40 to $50 book, and a 6.0 when I checked. This is definitely not a 6.0. This is a 9.4 with a press now. This is a 9.4 to 9.6. I'm going to say could be a 9.2, but it's definitely above a 9. Alf 48 in a newsstand. That cover everyone finds hilarious. So that's a nice book. All right. Next up is the standard. If you have any Spawn, what book do you have? You have a Spawn 1. And this one is, it's probably a 9.8 as it sits. Well, no, I take that back. It's a 9.6 as it sits. And I don't think a press would help it. So this is 9.6 tops. But Spawn's cool. People like Spawn. And then this one is a very nice looking copy with a press. There's some folds in the bottom corner here next to the barcode, but a press should get those out. So I'm looking at a 9.6 to 9.8. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 4. I forgot which volume. First appearance of Silk. All right. Next book on deck. Getting into some X-Men now. This is, I now have 3 copies of this book. And Discovery Base says that this stream is not, it's not on StreamYard yet. I wonder how long StreamYard's behind. Oh, well. He says, this stream is not showing up on subscriber feed again. I have you on notification. That's how I knew you were live. YouTube is still not working correctly. Well, that sucks. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Well, it happens. But I'm not too worried. It'd be nice to have more people watching, but this is usually normal for me. I think I got 7 according to StreamYard. But anyway, I got 3 copies of this one. This is a great book, X-Men 141, The Days of Future Past. This is a direct edition. And then we got another X book. And I have more. This is just now this one I don't clean and I don't press. So I'm kind of iffy on hey, what's up, JRK? We have JRK in the house, folks. And as I was saying, I don't press, I don't clean. I just know what can be done with that. So assuming a cleaning can help this book, it's like a 9.2. But if a cleaning doesn't help it, I'm not so sure it stays in the 9s because there's some dirt, it seems, on it. But it's a great book to have because, oh, wait a minute. I don't like the look of that. Let me check this with the black light. I may have some touch-up work here by somebody from the house. Oh, no. Okay. Well, that's printed that way. All right. This is X-Men 127, and it's one of the more rare direct editions from 1979. You can tell by that line in the barcode. But I'll show you right here. You see that dirt on the X-Men, and then this dude right here, I guess this is Proteus. If that can get cleaned up, it'll be much better grade. And hey, we got 36 Chambers in the chat. What's going on, man? Yeah, hey, I have this listed as an open invite if anyone wants to join me. I'm just showing off books that I got. Which brings us to the next book. Now, this one, it's going to need a press for sure. I bought it at a cheap enough price. If I get my money back, it's good, and I'll probably be able to get my money back. However, I haven't checked the prices on it. And what it is Batman 638, the reveal that Jason Todd is under the Red Hood. And it needs a press because of this corner right here. Oh, there you go. You see those dents in the book? But there's only some spine ticks because of them. They don't break color. So it's still going to be a nice book after a press, but not 9.8 nice. But I got to check prices on it. I don't know. Next book we have is the cameo of Apocalypse. This is X Factor number 5. It is a newsstand, and depending on what can be done in the corner of the top, I'll show you up close here in a second. This book is a 9.6. I guarantee you, possibility for a 9.8. And here's the issue that I was talking about. I don't know if a cleaning can help that and a press will make it flat, then that is the biggest detriment to the grade on this. But I don't know. I'll have to just try it and see, or just sell it raw. Depends on how much I have in it and all that. Next book up, Uncanny X-Men 222 in a newsstand. Continuation of the Mr. Sinister story and great Sabretooth Wolverine stuff going on here. And this one is not a 9.8 and it's not a 9.6, but it's a cool book that people will pay a little bit of money for. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, JRK. We'll see. My worry is if a clean gets the dirt off, will it make a break in the color? That's the only iffy part about it. Yeah, I do too. But you know what's better than having a 222? It's having a copy of 221, First Mr. Sinister. And I got to looking at this one, and it could benefit from a press. But the great thing about it is if this book is pressed, 9496. And if you know the prices on this book, that's, $80 to, 120 or somewhere around there. And it looks like we have another one joining us today, folks. We have Mark Spector. What's going on, man? And JOK says, yeah, it's hard to determine what breaks color on white books. Sometimes it comes out and sometimes not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I may just have to have that one stay raw. Then the next book up we have is, man, I got to tell you, when we were going through these off air, it was me, JB, BLC, and John's Comics with Kids. I was going through these, and we got to looking at them, and they were in the original bag and board that I bought them in. And we were like, ugh, we were all a little worried. But I've got to tell you, man, when this one came out, it's like night and day from what it looked like in the old bag and board to this brand new bag and board. And with a press, this one is a 9.6. If the press does what it needs to, it's a 9.6. And I would be in the money with that because this book is the New Teen Titans #2. First appearance of Deathstroke. So I'm very pleased when I got to looking at that one outside the old and ratty bag and board that it came in. All right, next up, this one is, I have 2 copies of this now. I bought both of them. This one is, it's not a 9.8, but it does have potential to be a 9.6. It does have some corner stuff here that needs pressed out, but that's okay. What is it? Tales of the Teen Titans 44. First appearance of Nightwing, origin and first appearance of Jericho, and the origin of Deathstroke. This is what you call a triple threat, 2 first appearances and an origin story. Excellent when you can get a book like that. And this one, for some reason, people just don't like it as much as some others. Oh, you need it, JRK. Well, everything I'm showing is for sale. Some of it might get graded. Some of it might be sold raw. Who knows? Might want to hit me up. This one, sadly, is worse condition. It might be a 9.0. Might. But it's after a press, it's probably going to wind up being an 8.5. But that's okay. The only thing is that one was the direct edition. This one's the newsstand. I wish they had swapped because I would prefer to have my newsstand be in the better condition one because people tend to want to pony up more money for a newsstand. Even though this is 1984 and the newsstands and direct editions were about 50-50. But it's the other copy of the Judas Contract. Part 3, Tales of Teen Titans 44. Oh, and we got Stanibles Universe. What's going on, man? Nice to have you. All right, next book up we have is the other copy I was telling you guys about. Now, this one is the newsstand, but it's a lot worse condition. Its max amount of potential is $40, but that's a max. I don't know if I'll even get that because I mean it needs a press, but I don't know if it'd be worth it for me to be the one to pay and give it a press. But this is the other copy of X-Men 141. And I say it again since some of you guys have joined us. If anybody wants to join, open invite. I'm just bored. We got Comics on the Edge here. What's going on, my man? All right, next book to show is, and what a second. Now we have Joker popping in. What's going on? So, yeah, anyone wants to join, just hit me up. All right, this next book is a great book, and it's actually in a lot better condition than we thought when we were originally looking through these in the old bag and boards. But with these new ones, man, so much better condition. This is, depending on how they look at the staples on this, with a press, this thing might be a 9.2. possibly 9.4, but 9.2 I would definitely say. It is the X-Men 110 newsstand. Next book up is another X book. And this one's condition, again, depending on how you count for staples, and it does need a press, slight cleaning, mainly just a press. This one is probably, an 8.5 because it has some stuff on the corner here. Maybe a 9, but probably an 8.5. This is newsstand edition, X-Men issue 122. And what I was talking about on the corner, let me see, I'll show you. It's right here. Wait, no, that's the spine. It's right here. That's the worst part about this book is that corner. All right, next book up. This one shocked me. Okay, I bought this thing and I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be, not that great. But I got to looking at it and guys, let me tell you, this thing has one spine tick. I'll take that back. 1.5 spine ticks, maybe 2. So if this thing gets a press, dude, it could be a 9.6. 9.4 for sure. 9.6 possibly. Not a 9.8. But check out what it is. It is the Marvel Superheroes number 8, the Winter Special, first appearance of the Squirrel Girl in a newsstand. And it's a square bound book, and it actually has and its square is actually looking pretty good. I don't know if it'll. It won't show up for you, but anyway, trust me, you could see how it was letters that, I mean, it's pretty readable, man. Do you need company, Bigfoot? I wouldn't mind any. This next one is 9.6 for sure. It could use a press. It has one of those dents, from when you stack a books up. You know how they get that dent right here near the spine. This has that, but 9.6, possibly 9.8. This is another first appearance of Livewire, Superman Adventures number 5. Believe it or not, this is actually a bit of money, especially in the high grades. It's like I think a couple $100. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, beat anyone. Hook me up. Well, you'll have to send me your email on IG. I believe we are on IG and connected. But anyway, if you DM me on IG, I'll be happy to let you join. All right, next book. This one I thought was not in the best condition. But then it's just that old bag and board, man. You would be surprised. You guys think Mylar adds at least 2 grades to any book. Well, having a fresh, clean bag and board will show you the actual grade of a book. An old bag and board will downgrade your book by like 3 grade points. This one is actually a 9.6, possibly 9.8, definitely 9.6. Batman Harley Quinn number 1. First Harley Quinn in continuity. I like it. And this is Comics on the Edge wants to send you a message. All right, well, if this will load. Okay. Accept. Oh, I wasn't even following you. I just followed you back. Okay. You can send me messages now, so send me your email and I can send you an invite. Yeah, Alex Ross is my favorite. So this next one is going to be, whenever I sell it, this is going to be a combo. Reason it's a combo is this one has a pinup inside, and this particular issue doesn't have the pinup, so sad. But I have another book that goes with it to sort of kind of make up for it. What we have here is Batman 181. It's a it's not as good condition as it looks, but it's not that bad either. Worst part about it is that small tape pool, which I say small, but I mean it's an eyesore. But it doesn't have any coloring that I can tell on it. Like, a lot of kids like to do crayons and stuff. Could use a bit of a cleaning. I don't know if a press would help it, but definitely could use some cleaning. But to go with it, we also have Batman 183, and this one is just beat the crap. But I mean, it's complete. It's still there. And the reason Batman 183 is going with it is second appearance, first appearance. First and second of Poison Ivy. So that's the, wait a minute, I need to change this bag and board. I have an old bag on it. So I'll set that aside. Aha! Here we go. He has sent an email, so let me send him the invite. You all get to watch the amazingness of me sending an email. Let's see. Scott. All right, I think I did all that right. And I got other messages too. And yes, I am. So I will send. Looks like I got another invite about to go out. You've been invited there, Edge. So let's see. I wonder if it's Jason. All right, so that invite was sent to him. So we'll see what happens there. All right, let me get the YouTube back up. And oh, Steve's here. What's going on, man? Comics on the Edge.
What's up, man?
Not much. How's it going? I don't think we've ever done anything together.
No, I was surprised that we don't even follow each other.
That's you surprised at what?
That we don't even follow each other. I checked my Instagram. I know we follow each other on YouTube, but Instagram is another game, right?
Yeah, I know. I would prefer the YouTube. I don't do that much with the Instagram, but let me get us. There we go.
Dude, I really wanted to jump on because you were showing some bangers, dude. That shit, like, two of the books that you just showed, The Squirrel Girl and Livewire. I mean, those books I collect. I have like 8 Livewires and 3 of The Squirrel Girls. I just love those books, man.
Yeah. Well, I for my personal collection, it's like less than 20 or about 20 books that I'm trying to get. And that's it. I keep a small collection, but I have the PC, and then I have books that I like to invest in, like the Batman 181. I have a much better graded copy that I put as an investment for 5 years or later down the road. And I also
you just sold one, right? It was wasn't it a graded one or something like that?
Yeah, it was a 1.8. It helped me get a 3.5. And then I got a Tech 359 that I have put back as one of my investment books for later. But I love the game of buying and selling. So I bought all these to sell, and we were kind of iffy on how good a job I did, like I said. But, man, just putting things in a fresh bag and board and actually giving them a chance and looking them over, you'd be surprised how good books can still be.
Oh, Mylars, man. Mylars, I mean, they're just amazing. I love Mylars.
These aren't in Mylar, by the way.
Oh, not yet, right?
No, the everything I'm showing is a standard bag and board,
wow.
Resealable bag and board.
So but you do use them, right?
No, I don't use Mylar at all.
Oh, okay. Oh, man.
So if you think one of my books looks good in what I have it in,
oh wow,
just imagine.
That's pretty impressive, man.
Yeah. So this next one, if you want to talk impressive, we're getting into the impressive stuff. This one shocked me when I pulled it out of the bag and board. Here, let me change view to
Yeah.
right here. This one shocked me when I pulled it out of the bag and board because of how much better it looks than in the old bag and board. Because there was that yellowing, they get wavy,
Yeah.
But this thing is nice. And when Black Panther 2 ever comes out, this is going to be an awesome book to get. And we have Southern Comic Geek joining us. What's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on?
Pretty good. I'm just showing off a whole bunch of stuff that I got to sell. I didn't want to spend time posting it on IG, and I also have a light right above me, so the pictures were looking horrible. So I just went with a live stream. But anyway, this one is very nice looking. It's I doubt it's a 7, but it could be as high as a 7.0. Mighty Avengers 62.
Oh, nice.
Worst part about it,
pretty clean.
Worst part about it is right there on the spine. You see that?
It's a little blurry.
Yeah, blurred out. It's not focusing, but I see it.
Well, let me see if I can get it. Well, you see that big spot right there?
Yeah. What is that?
It's like a tape pool kind of deal.
Oh. Kind of looks like a cigarette burn from here.
Yeah.
It's kind of blurry though.
Yeah. But anyway, that's one. And then this one, believe it or not, I think it was only one staple. Because when I looked at the centerfold, there was no holes in the bottom where the other staple would normally be. And I don't see a staple. So I'm thinking this only has one staple and everything's attached. Barely, but everything's attached. And DS was looking at this offline for me, and he thought it might be as high as a 4.5. And I don't know about being that high, but anyway, it's FF50.
Oh, nice. Such a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
Wow.
So hopefully, oh, crap. It's in the, man, both of these are in the old. I ran out of bags and boards, so I got some, and I was all out of tape, so I used electrical tape. Now I have resealable bags and board. I went and bought 100, so I'll be rebagging and boarding these because you can't open the electrical tape.
Yeah.
You can't. I'm going to have to cut them out, but that's okay. All right, next up is a run of books. Let me get them all out here. And this run of books is all Alex Ross. It's the Justice Society of America where he did all the covers for them. And we have book 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
4. 5. And 6. And 7. I just got 1 through 7. And they're very high grade looking copies too. So those I think I would sell as a set. You don't really want to piecemeal those out.
Nah, for sure.
Yeah, and then let's see. Next book up I got this one I just got because I needed to buy something to get another punch in my card at the shop I went to. But I mean, I do try and make sure it's pretty cool. I mean, it looks cool. If it ain't worth money, it at least looks cool. Spawn 67.
Nice.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, it looks good.
Yeah.
Then I picked up a copy of the Max #1. And the sad part about it is it got wet, or not the book, but it was so wet that the moisture got around to it in the mailbox. So, I don't know if you see all that?
Oh, yeah, we see that. You can press that out, though.
Yeah, that's the good thing is nothing breaks color. So once pressed,
yeah,
it's probably a 9.8.
Yeah.
And then with it, not touched by moisture apparently, but with it, I picked me up a copy of Pit One.
Nice.
Just because. I know they're not worth money, but I paid like $2 for them. So
yeah, I normally don't pick up those type of books unless they're like newsstand. You know, because there's so many of them out there.
I have on eBay. I've got them on my what is it called watch list. Some newsstands of these books. I'd like to get those. And there's a shop that actually called Total Nostalgia, where Southern Comic Geek and I went together there. They have a lot of Spawn and, well, not really a lot, but a lot of newsstands. Every newsstand I have, I bought from there.
Oh, wow.
So they got some good newsstand Spawn. This is ASM 328, the last McFarlane.
Nice.
And it's high grade too. I got
they call
two
that the
boards.
nut punch issue, right?
That's right.
Yeah, the nut punch issue. There's like a one spine tick, so this is but I don't know if a press is even needed, but I mean it's a 9.6. Depending on how well a cleaning can do, because someone spilt, like, you know how you have a candle's wax can drip off.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that here, so depending on how the cleaning can work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So depending on how that works, it might can get to a 9.6, but it's probably a 9.4, 9.6.
So are you selling all these for CoronaCon?
Do what?
Are you selling all these on CoronaCon, or are you holding them for a little bit?
I'm not 100% sure if CoronaCon's still going to happen. We'll have to find out. But it looks like we got Roadhouse Kelly in the house. How you doing, man? And I agree. He knocked it out of the park with those covers. So the next book up is also ASM. And it is a newsstand, and it's also very high grade. It's a 9.4, possibly a 9.6, ASM 210, First Madam Web.
Up in your truck, Anna.
And let's see. Next book up, just because, New Mutants 100, first X-Force. With that lovely Rob Liefeld artwork.
Check
Look at his arm. Look at his arm.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Let's see. I won this for free at Jig's Kingdom, so I'll probably let it go as a giveaway. Just one of them Walmart books. And let's see. This is a nice one. No one wants to buy it from me, though, for some reason. Maybe it's my price. This is the Joker Year of the Villain #1, the Stuart Sager C cover, signed by Stuart Sager with his little personal COA, and only 1,000 of these were printed.
Looks like Bill Sienkiewicz art.
Right?
I know.
It does.
A lot of people compare him to Bill. But yeah, that one I thought's a pretty nice looking book. I paid cover for this, so probably going to hold it till something happens with the character, because I think something will definitely happen with the character. Well, actually, this is like 3 first appearances in here, but the only one I
already know what you're going to show, and I agree with you. For sure. I mean, that character is just so loved right now. I mean, they got to do something with it. It's a missed opportunity for DC if they don't.
And now these next books are more of a probably a pop-up style. So I don't know. I may not go through all of them, but I got number 58, 59, 60, and 61 of Aquaman.
Nice.
And they're all of them newsstands. And then we have one. All right. We have the Legend of Aquaman Special #1. It's just a one shot. And then we have, this is the first, or no, this is a 5-issue miniseries they did with Aquaman. I have issues 1 through 5, but it's really weird. The art on the cover, it's not bad, but it's the only time they use this art. All the other covers, look at how the art just changes.
It's so different, huh?
Yeah, all these covers are like the same cover.
Yeah.
Or the same style, the same color. But, I mean, it's just really weird how the first issue is so different.
Is the font different too?
No, the font's the same.
From the first one that you showed?
Yeah, it's just
okay.
a different color.
Okay.
And this next book, I thought was pretty cool. Got it in a mystery box, actually. First Sidorak, Doctor Strange 44. This one will probably be something, I bet you Multiverse of Madness, or when the X-Men come in and we start really cross-pollinating everything in the MCU, this will probably be of note. I don't think it'll get that much more expensive than what it is. I mean, I could probably sell it for maybe, what, 20, 30 bucks tops?
Yeah.
I can do 40 tops when that happens, but, I mean, it's just a cool book, and I got it for free, so.
Yeah, hey, can't go wrong, right? That's all profit, right?
Oh, yeah. So next up is, this is cool because it's one of those newsstands from 1979. It's with a crossed out barcode. These are sort of rare. So this is Thor 292, the first appearance of the Eye of Odin. So that may be something at some point. Then next up, I have another copy of New Mutants 98, or excuse me, not New Mutants 98, 100, but this one's a newsstand.
Nice.
So got that one. Next book up, also a newsstand. Not sure on condition. I haven't looked it over too good yet, but Rom 1.
That's cool.
And so far, nothing going on with that character, but I mean, at some point.
Yeah. It's been speculated for years now.
Yeah. Then I got Spawn 8 just because. But the main reason I got that Spawn 8 was because I bought it for the same price as this Spawn 8, which is a newsstand.
Yeah. That's a nice one.
Gotta love the newsstands. And then I also have Spawn 16 newsstand. And then I have another copy of Spawn #9. It's just a standard direct edition.
Nice.
But still a good book. I mean, Spawn 9 sells fairly well. I've sold 2 of them. And then I have, this is the first ever limited series for Aquaman. And they give him a new costume. I'll just show you the #1.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, so I have
that's an interesting costume.
Yeah, it's Tempest, basically. It's the costume for Tempest.
Oh, okay.
But it's just different colored, basically.
Yeah.
But that's a 1 through 4 limited series. So, oh, excuse me. Hello.
Big Will is wheeling and dealing over there.
Somebody wants a book right away, right?
That's right. Yeah. I know Patrick Kelly in the chat, you know, as much as he buys, he might have Will's in direct lines that, hey, I like that book. Don't even.
Hey, but you know what though? That's the way to go though. When you see it, just go after it. Don't even hesitate. I mean, you know just as well as I do. If you leave a book at a comic store, it's not going to be there when you go back.
Well, that's like the other day. I was on me, him, and we're on BLC's channel, Big Lion Cat, and he said he was selling that book. I picked it up from him and then turned around and sold the copy I had
So
right there on the stream.
I'm not going to go through all the other issues that I have in this box, but I'll show because it's the last three that are in there are 1 through 13 of Aquaman.
Okay.
And then I have Aquaman #1, Time and Tide. And I know I'm not big. I don't need to be. It's Aquaman. The Aquaman Special #1. And then another Aquaman #1. This is an ongoing. It's the first appearance of Charybdis. Not that anyone cares because it's Aquaman. But so that's everything actually.
Is that all in one trip?
No, not all one trip. That would be awesome if it was.
Oh, nice. That's a good haul though. I mean, those are some solid books.
You said CoronaCon might not be going on. I'd last heard everything was a go.
Hopefully, it's going to go on. We'll find out. I mean, it's next weekend, so we'll see what happens a little closer to time.
Is that an actual physical event or is it online?
No, it's JB and a bunch of the auction guys.
Oh, okay.
But
Nice.
anyway, yeah. So anyone who's watching this now or on the rewind, everything's going to be for sale. Well, everything's for sale right now, but some of these I'm thinking I'd be better off to grade and then sell. And then, of course, I don't know when I would want to sell all of them, like in an auction or in something else. So we'll have to see what happens there. But anyway, so yeah. Well, what'd you think? Good haul?
Oh yeah, dude. I think you're gonna get a lot of messages for that poison ivy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I said though, there's no pinup in it though, but it does come with the second appearance to make up for it.
Yeah. The one that you sold, did it have a pinup or no?
The one I sold was complete. It had the pinup.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So
I've had 2 copies of that book, and one didn't have a pinup, and I got rid of that pretty quick, and the other one did. So I held on to that one.
Oh, yeah.
I was blazing back through the rewind of the stuff before I got on here, so I was checking out what you were showing off.
Yeah. But that's another thing I wouldn't mind some help on is figuring out which ones to sell after grading. Like I don't know for sure which ones will be best. Like when it comes to things like this, Teen Titans 20 First Crush, probably, but not now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think anyone's going to want to pay that much for this right now. So I'll probably just hold on to it for a while.
Yeah, I think those are going for like what, $50 right now at a 9.8.
50?
Yeah, I think so.
If it is, that's tops.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
that variant, everyone's looking for that variant.
Oh, the variant, yeah, the one where it's like what do they call it? The design variant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know these Spider-Man will sell. The question is when and at what price.
Yeah, for sure.
So what are you wanting to sell that poison ivy for?
Well, not 100% sure, but I can tell you what. I got my
his note
down right here. Okay. Well, I know. Let me tell you this. My 1.8, I sold it for I think $100. And
yeah, it went cheap, man. I was shocked. I was
so this
shocked.
one I would think is maybe a little bit better than a 1.8. It's probably a 2.5 or to a 3.5 tops. So I would want probably. Let me put it this way: if it had the pinup, I would want like 300 for it and the 183. But since it doesn't have the pinup, I probably do 200 even on it. But I'm not 100% sure.
See, Big Will tries to get all my money.
Tries. Doesn't he already take it all?
Yeah, but now I do plan on doing
Been doing
some
a
grading.
good job of it lately.
I do plan on doing some grading videos later because I like to do grading videos on my channel. And some of the stuff I'll be doing is, for example, that pinup or the 181, because right now I don't know if it's complete.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't have the pinup. I've got to double check and make sure that's all it's missing. So that's probably the price, but I wouldn't sell it until I have time to go through it and make sure. Because I'm not going to sell something that isn't complete, at least without telling you anyway.
Yeah. So if you grade that book without the pinup, won't they classify that as incomplete?
Qualified.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe they do put it as qualified. But a lot of people don't really care that much because the pinup doesn't affect the story. And it's almost all – oh, man, I don't know what that was. That was like a burp and a yawn together. They're almost always out of the book.
Yeah.
Well, I think that green label would look good with it, though, with Poison Ivy. So
yeah, that is true. You can. I don't know of anyone who's tried selling it that way, and it comes with this custom green label.
Hey, that's a selling technique.
I definitely think this is going to be a good seller for me.
Yeah, for sure. Is that a first print?
Yeah, it should be.
Because I think there's 2 prints on that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I am fairly certain this is first print. Again, I haven't had time to go through anything. Well, actually, I've had time. I just haven't wanted to. But definitely, everyone's got time these days.
The price on the first and second print is pretty significant. So, that's.
Yeah. Well, that would be nice to get Alex Ross to sign because there's a blank spot right there on that cover, like right there on the side or right there at the bottom.
Well, if he writes in silver, there's multiple places you can get him to sign.
Yeah.
The problem is if you don't write in silver, there's almost no good way to not get on the art.
Right.
But going back to that Livewire book, that's like one of my favorite books to collect because it reminds me of the Harley Quinn or Batman Adventures 12 because it was a kid's book, and a lot of them got roughed up and just didn't really survive, and it just reminds me of the first Harley Quinn. So I really like that book.
I already got somebody saying they want to hit me up on one of these books.
See?
Yeah, but yeah, that Livewire, I was about to show it. It's one of my favorite books that I got in this haul here. Because once it's pressed, 9.6, possibly a 9.8, that's going to be nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I think this is definitely going to be one to grade for sure.
Yeah, it's a good book.
Yeah, and then this one, I'm not sure. What do you guys think? This one, I honestly don't know. I'll go with what you two tell me. All right. So I need your help here. I'm going to go big again, and y'all discuss amongst yourselves. What do you think I should do here? If this gets a press, it will be as high as a 9.6. I almost guarantee you, as a matter of fact, that it will be a 9.6. Worst case scenario, if this thing gets graded, it'll be a 9.4 because I see one spine tick and maybe something on the edge here, but pressing should get it out.
So the problem with that book is because it's square bound, a lot of people won't even press it because it's bound by glue.
If I were to press this book and get it graded, it'd be CBCS.
Yeah.
If you get somebody to press it, like he was saying, because the square bounds.
The square bound's held by glue, so that glue sometimes will melt it and probably do some damage to it. I mean, you got to really I press my own books, so with that book, I would like do like a light press. You know, those books you just kind of have to find in good condition and just kind of pray that you get the highest grade on it.
Well, so what are you saying? Are you saying grade it without pressing?
Well, if you
Or
have a
not grade
presser
at
that
all?
no, if you have a presser that's confident in doing the work and getting like some type of result, then yeah, go for it. But like I said, some people won't press it because it's a square bound book. Like there's no staples on it. It's held together with glue.
CBCS should be good for it because
Yeah.
I've had multiple stuff pressed by them, never had an issue, and I've never heard of anyone having an issue, unlike CCS.
Yeah, because if you don't press it right, that square bound has like a curve, like it'll curve it out a little bit, you know. So instead of it being square bound, it will be like round bound.
Round bound.
Yeah. So you just got to be careful. You know, go to somebody that really knows what they're doing. They might know a different technique to get that press on the top layer and get a good result. You know, if you overheat that book, I mean that glue is just gonna
Yeah.
melt and probably jack up the book.
But I'm thinking though it does need to get graded, and if it gets graded, it needs the pressing just to give it that extra oomph
Yeah.
to that 9.6, because the 9.8, 9.6, and then they go the price.
Yeah. That's a great book though. I mean it's crazy because it's a first appearance of Squirrel Girl, but she's not even on the cover, so it's just like that's the only thing that bugs me because I'm a Squirrel Girl fan, so that it's kind of a shitty first appearance book because she's not even on the cover.
Now I don't know. Do you guys think if I'm not grading it, do you think there's anything that I might should press anyway? Like, for example, this X-Men 122. I don't know
what
the
do you,
prices on it. I haven't looked, but
I don't know either.
X-Men are sought after.
Is this any significance to that book?
I don't
Yeah,
think
the first appearance and origin, or not first appearance, but I believe it's the origin of Colossus.
Okay. I don't know, to be honest. I'm not too sure.
Now that I'm looking at it, I don't think a press, it might help it earn a half point of a grade. But with the condition it's in already, I don't think it'll help it bump a whole solid grade. So yeah, I don't think I would press it. I'd just sell it as is.
Yeah. Well, since this is a show off video, do you mind if I show off a couple books I've gotten?
Nope. Nope. No. Well, which one is it? Oh, let me do this.
There
we go.
Okay.
How about I just do that?
So
Nope.
I've had a good week.
Go for it.
So I've had a good week this week, and I've actually been able to acquire one of my personal like Grail books. You wouldn't know Big Will because you weren't following me on Instagram, and neither was I following you. But let me show these two first. I got this Captain Marvel number 33, The Origin of Thanos.
Nice.
It's a pretty clean copy. This is Mylar shiny right there. And I also got this book. I like the Invincible series. This is number 44, first appearance of Anissa.
Of a water?
Anissa?
And who is that?
She's a character on Invincible, but this is her first appearance. She's on the cover.
How are Invincible? Are they not valuable or just cool and collectible?
Yeah, I mean, number one issue. The number one issue is like, they mark it as like an independent Grail. You know, it's just a high value. I believe it was like a low print run. It was a book that just, I mean, it's so hard to find. I actually got one maybe like 3 months ago, and it it was so hard to find, but I found it and I was able to get it, and I'm glad that it's in my collection now. But so this is the Grail I was taught, or my personal Grail. Since I started collecting, this is a book that I've been trying to get since day one. The character just kind of like I remember watching the Superman animated series, and this character was in it, and I just like fell in love with him. I haven't even shown this book on my own channel because I haven't made a video because my kids are in quarantine right now, so they're not going in school right now, and so I just haven't been able to make any videos. I got a ton of shit to show off, but this is the book that I ended up getting. This is Superboy 68.
Oh, first Bizarro.
Yeah, first Bizarro. I've been looking for I've only had 4 opportunities to get this book, and like 3 of those times the other person kind of like flaked out, and one of them I just kind of lagged on it and the opportunity just went by. But yeah, I ended up grabbing this sometime last week, and man, I'm so happy because this is a book that like I said, I've been trying to get since I started collecting. This is one I wanted to go after, but the longer I waited, the more expensive this book got, and at sometimes it just felt like it was just unattainable. It's just one of those books. It's from 1968, I believe. So I mean, it's a low grader, but man, I'm just so happy to have it. I mean, now I actually own one. So
Yeah. Superboy is one of the cheapest Silver Age runs to get. Started in 48 and it ends in like 74, 75. It's one of the cheapest ones to get because the only books that are enough of a bother to lay money on are that one, number 1, and like 2 others, and that's it.
And it's crazy because there's so many issues of that series.
It's almost 300.
Yeah. So I mean, when I set my sights on this book, at the time it was, the prices weren't too bad, but the more I collected, the more money I was spending on other stuff and not focusing on this, the farther away I was getting to like actually being able to get it. Because you're talking about like 4.0s going for like $800, so I'm just really happy to have this now.
What grade is it? Is that a 4.0?
No, it's probably a little bit less than that. Probably like a 3 or 2.5. But just like I said, I mean, I'm just happy to own a copy because you don't see these hardly anywhere. I've been to cons and that don't even have a copy.
All right. So let me ask you guys about a book that I don't think either one of you got to see, at least while you're on the stream with me. You haven't seen it. What do you think about this book?
Yeah, that's
the controversial.
That's a book I would like to own one day. I've seen it several times. I just haven't been able to actually get one.
Yeah, so back in the day.
Oh Lord!
Back in the day, I was a big Al fan. I was a member of the Al fan club, man.
Wow.
So yeah, had all that stuff. So, but yeah, so yeah, that's a cool book. I think it's on the radar, but it's because of the cover.
Yeah, it's only because of the cover. That and the Rifleman issue 5 or 8.
The log, yeah.
Just because of the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna sell this Bloodshot 6 and the Rise 0. I think is a pair. You think that's a good pairing?
Mm-hmm.
The first Ninjak.
Yeah. Or do you think I should grade the 0?
I'd do the 0 by itself. You get more money.
Do you think I should grade it though? Because like I said, depending on how well a press helps on that. Depending on how well the press helps on that bit right there above the I and the A, if it'll focus.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah, I see it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I should press out. I feel like
it should.
I'd be able to press that out.
Depending on how that presses out, this is potentially a 9.8. I have no idea how to tell between glossy and matte, though. I would assume this is matte.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. It's a lot. That gloss is a lot shinier. There's not that many of them out there.
Yeah. So anyway, and then this one, I think I won't sell for. I think I'll hold off on this one until either the X-Men or Wolverine or someone's in the MCU. I think I'm going to hold off on selling this one. I've sold 2 others, but this one I think I'll wait.
What do you think that would grade at?
This one,
Yeah.
well, with a press, 9.6, maybe a 9.8.
So if it's gonna grade that high, I would probably grade that one so that you'll get it by the time something happens with that character. Then just sell it because you're in the selling business. So hey,
Yeah,
there you
good
go.
idea.
Yeah, that's a great point because the Bloodshot movie's already dropped. so
Yep.
some hype
That
surrounding
train might have passed already with the Bloodshot.
Yeah.
So, have you heard about CBCS changing? With the whole Corona deal. I mean, I wonder if that's.
It affects us in almost no way.
Oh, really? Okay.
You can't drop off and pick up at their site, and they're not going to shows. That's all it is.
So, have people? Are they remotely working in, or how's that working?
I think they have their people coming in to grade, and that's pretty much it. They're not doing anything else. And hey, Tina's here. What's going on, Tina? I have no idea. It's probably the matte. But yeah. So you think grade the X-Men 4 over the Rye?
I think your profit margin would be a lot higher because you probably didn't pay too much for it. And by grading and everything,
I paid a lot less for the X-Men 4 than I wound up paying for the Rye. I think, let me look in my book. Oh, if you ever get into the buy and selling game, it's great to have it wrote down what you paid for stuff.
Yeah.
That way you know what to charge and you know.
I like how you keep it old school, man, with the pen and paper.
I do all mine on the CLZ app.
Actually,
right?
Yes.
I like the old school. I don't like apps and stuff. I prefer the pen and paper. But actually, with what I paid, I would be good to go with either or grade both.
Well, I think the Omega Red would be one to kind of.
Yeah.
If you had to choose one, I would probably go Omega Red. I feel like the opportunity's coming up, and hopefully you get the book by the time they announce something with them or something like that. Like then you could sell it and probably just max out your profits.
I could probably sell this one for what, $30 with the high grade as it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean that's enough of a profit. So I'd be happy with that. But this one, however, I know I've got to get graded. A, because it needs a press, and B, because it's going to be a high grade once it's pressed, like 9.4 or better, depending on it. And it's rare, like really rare, and that's this Spawn 9 newsstand.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that at LA Comic-Con earlier last year, and there was only one copy that somebody had. It was a 9.8, and he was asking $1,200 for it.
Whoa.
And he wasn't budging at all. He would budge on everything else, but that book alone, because of the rarity, he just wasn't budging at all. And I know people were looking at it and seriously thinking about it. So I mean, it's if you could get a 9.8 on that, you're gold, man.
Well, I don't know if I can, but I know for a fact I can get a 9.4 and probably a 9.6.
Well, I saw your earlier video of your guessing on your CBCSs, and you surprised yourself on some of those books. So, you never know. You were even showing some of the creases on some of the books. That was insane.
Yeah. And then this one, I would like to have it graded, but based on the condition that it's in, I would probably be better off to not get it graded. And that's this Spawn #2 newsstand. I think I'll make more money selling this one raw than I will getting it graded and then trying to sell it.
Well, what grade do you think it'll come back as?
Well, even with a press, I don't see it getting higher than a 9.4. It's probably a 9.2 or 9, actually, even with a press.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it'd be better off raw.
I think so too. But if you're gonna get a 9.8 or maybe 9.6, then I think it's worth the risk.
Yeah, I keep getting eBay coupons for items I don't want.
That's the way it goes. Nobody else wants coupons.
Anyway, okay, so
Check that out. Hey,
Oh,
Will.
nice. That's a beautiful copy.
Check that out.
that is on my investment book list.
This was waiting for me when I got home today.
Nice.
So, yeah. So from afar, the reds still really pop on this book. The spines beat to you know what, but you really can't tell it from afar off as much. And that red background still pops a lot. So got a decent price on.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but JRK just laid down some knowledge. Spawn 9 newsstand 9.8 last sold 314.
Oh wow.
That's not 1,200, but I would be very much happy with that.
Yeah, I know.
He's not going to be greedy.
Well, and also we're talking convention prices, so they're a little bit inflated.
Yeah, well, they're either inflated or they're super low. There's no in between.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, that one, I'll tell you what I paid on the Spawn 9. I paid, crap, what did I pay? Gotta go back to the book. At least I have the book. I paid $30 for it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm good to go, even if it comes back a 9.4. That's what.
Yeah, because if you sold it raw, you probably would get like $30 out of it, right? You probably break even, right? I mean,
I sold it raw. I think I'd get even more. I could probably get as high as $50 on it raw, I think. But graded, even if it's a 9.4, I could probably get $100.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking it'd be better off getting it graded because that's only another $30 or less. So.
Wow.
And then that one we'll say, the X-Men will say, and sorry to JRK, but after thinking, I'm going to go ahead and get this one graded.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the grade that I'm fairly certain that it is, I think I'm going to need to get this one graded. Because if I'm wrong and it's a grade lower, that means it's a 9.4. And that's still, over $100 book. But if I'm right and it's a 9.6, maybe even a 9.8, doubt it, probably 9.6, that's almost $300 book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm probably going to get this one graded and take the risk. See what happens. This one, however, it looks so good. I don't even think I'm going to get it pressed if I can grab it off the table without causing damage. It looks so good, so clean. It is a 9.8. If there ever was a guaranteed 9.8, it's this book right here. I don't even think I'm going to press it. I'm just going to send it in. The Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
This one's like a $500 book in a 9.8.
Wow. Does the promotional one go for more? Because that's yeah, the promotional one is that's the one that everyone wants.
This one, I don't think it's promotional.
No, that one's not because it has a barcode on it.
Yeah. But hey, this one I checked the price on. It's like a $500 book. I don't need it to be the promotion. So he's saying probably sell the Spawn 9 raw based on the sale though. But you really can't look at last sale. You got to look at all the sales because sometimes people get a deal. So it depends on that.
Yeah. Yep.
He wanted the number 2. So yeah, this one's definitely getting graded, and I don't think it needs a press at all. I mean, it's flat. There's no spine ticks. There's not even it has color even all the way around the spine. Minus a few points here and there. And the corners are sharp. Man, I think a press might hurt it. So this one I'm probably going to send in without a press or anything and get it graded. It should be a 9.8. And like you said, based on my apparent grading skills, I think I'm probably right on that. Let me see if I can show you, just so you can see how nice this book is. Is that focusing?
Yeah. Well, kind of.
There you go.
There you go.
Is that clean or is that clean?
That's pretty clean, man.
I definitely think this is a grade. No press or anything. Just send this booker in.
Mhm.
What are you doing? What are you doing with the Alf book?
With a what book?
The Alf book.
Alf? I don't know, man. I'm not familiar with Alf. I've never had one, but just based on sales, it can get pretty valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, screw it. Let me just look right here, pull it up, and see what it's going for. I'll share my screen. Let's see, share screen.
According to Key Collector, pretty good. Of course, it can be off a little bit sometimes, but still.
I don't trust their pricing, but let's see. Okay, here we are. So Alf, I believe it was issue 48.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to have to click on it. All right, so what grade did I say I thought it was?
I don't think you said a grade.
Well, let's look at the 9.2. That's the best. That's the worst of the best. Oh, wow. Look, 200, 220, 140, 150, 100, 110. So that would be worth it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what a 9.4 is, because I think it could be a 9.4. Maybe a 9.6, but probably a 9.4. I'll have to double check. 175, 233, 129. Oh, these are in 2017. So probably a $200 book there. And just because out of curiosity. Okay, $338, $350. In 2013, they got a deal at $224. So yeah, now let's say a worst case scenario, a 6.5. If it's a 6.5, it's still a $75 book.
Is that graded or raw?
These are all slabbed prices.
Okay.
So that tells me that if that book is mine is obviously not a 6.5, but if it were, that means if it's 75 slabbed, it costs about $30 to slab it. So 40, 50, 67. So it's probably a $45 book if it were a 6.5.
Yeah.
Raw. So that one's in the 9s as it is, and with a press, and believe it, even better. So that's probably at least $100 after slabbing. So that's probably another one I should slap. I'm actually wanting to do 4. So I'll actually add that one here, and that'll be my last one.
Well, you know, that silk book too.
That one is not worth it to slab. It's like $120 slabbed in a 9.
Yeah, but I feel like if you wait on that because of the whole Spider-Verse thing, that book I've seen skyrocket and drop several times because of rumors. I think when they finally do something with Silk, that book is going to take off.
Yeah, that spine's pretty clean. That little tick down there at the bottom, right below the UPC code.
Yeah, I'm thinking if I say a 9.2, I'm pretty safe.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I'm looking on eBay. There's a 9.4. I only see one for sale, and 9.4 is $319, listed for $319, obviously, but still.
wow. Yeah, that would be. I sell mainly with YouTube, so I would be putting it in like an auction for YouTube once it's graded. But well, all right. What else should we talk about, or are we done? Because I don't have any more books. I got to rebag and board some of these. Like I'm gonna love when I sell this one because it's gonna be nice.
Oh yeah,
I would love to know what print that is.
Open it up, big one. They said it's on inside the front cover.
Yep.
Maybe. Yeah.
I got to rebag and board it because it has the electrical tape, so that's why I'm using the scissors.
You know, one of them comics I got from you yesterday, it had the electrical tape and on the back, and I was like, "What is he doing with this electrical tape? Is this the new painter's tape or something?"
Dude, no, you can't get it out. You got to cut it out with with the electrical tape. That's just all I had on me at the time. Otherwise, I would not have used electrical tape. Okay, so this one needs a slight cleaning. Yeah, I'm seeing that now. I'm remembering that. It's got a lot of dust, and some of it just needs to be cleaned off. So this one could definitely use a cleaning, and it has one spine tick that may or may not can be pressed. But overall, it's still very high grade.
That's a square bound book as well, right?
It is.
Okay.
It doesn't say anything. It's just a copyright 1999.
What about the back?
The back. Yeah, I'm seeing a couple things on the back. So yeah, this thing could use a cleaning, not really a press, and it's probably a 9.2 to a 9.4.
The barcode doesn't show anything about it being a second print.
How do you know if is it one? If the last numbers are 112,
That's a second print.
it's a second print. Okay.
Yep.
So how much is a second print worth compared to the one?
I'm not too sure. I mean,
Well, let me look it up.
let's look it up.
Let's look it up. Let's see. Batman, Harley Quinn. All right. And let me share my screen so you guys can see this. All right. So third printing 9/8 325. The first printing's 250 and the second is 170.
So the third print might be rarer, right?
Oh, it definitely is. Okay.
Yeah, that's why.
All right. So we'll look at a 9.2. Last sale last year for $100. Okay. This says 65 for a 9, but last sale was 75. Then the one before it was 100, and then 100. So okay, so this book would be starting bid $50 and just see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's fair as long as I let them know, hey, it's second print.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, yeah, first print, 250. Third print, 325. So it's the one you really want.
Yeah.
So is that how you tell, by the way, the barcode 112?
Yeah, it's basically the same formula as a regular issue off of.
Yeah, I just didn't know when that started.
Yeah, sometimes those ones start have like 999 in them. So yeah, it's kind of cool that it has a 2 at the end, because now you're able to determine what print it is. Usually books that like that, you'd be able to tell on the first page. So like I think Batman Who Laughs, it has they don't have a barcode, so it's written on the inside of the book.
Okay. The color on diamonds on front cover. That's how you tell, Hialeah? I mean, I don't know that they're any color than I reckon they're all red. These are all red.
It might be another way to determine what print it is what color the diamonds are.
Well, I would assume the barcode's the way to go, but I don't know for sure.
Well, like for underground books, sometimes they have like little things that they put in every print that determines what print they are. So it's very difficult to determine sometimes.
Well, I have to research it before I sell it then. But either way, I'm going to make, what? Probably $70.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. And then this one for sure. Gonna love this one. Probably want to get it graded just because. And I don't plan on selling it at the moment.
No, you won't sell it until you get a newsstand of those. I think I have like a couple of them. There are newsstands of that.
Well, there's newsstands of everything up to 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
They're just so rare.
Yeah, they're really hard to find.
Yeah.
I actually have a oh my god, what Philippines version of that. And those are really hard to find.
Also got the electrical tape on this one. But yeah, and then this is one of my favorite ones, the Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, for sure. Have you seen what she looks like inside of that book? It's ridiculous. It looks nothing like her now.
Ugly as crap.
Yeah. I think she looks more like a monkey than a squirrel.
Maybe that's what they were going for. Who knows?
But it is a pretty awesome first appearance on how she like jumps on Iron Man and stuff. I mean, she's a badass.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, welcome Hialeah. And he hadn't shown up on the StreamYard yet, but Backseat Driver's in. Oh, there he is. Boom. But yeah, you know what? Since we're on the computer, I'm going to see if I can figure out how you tell. So I'll go to mycomicshop.com. That's one of the resources I use.
Mm-hmm.
You guys like them?
I don't really use them as a resource, to be honest.
Yeah, I bought a couple of things from them, but they're pretty pricey. Stuff I've been looking for anyway.
Buy books from them, saying use them as a resource to find out stuff.
I got you.
Okay, here we go. Batman, Harley Quinn. This was in '99, I believe. So, okay, first printing. Oh, wait a second. First printing. Second and third printings have second and third printing notices on the inside front cover. All right, so that means I need to look again and see if I can. I'll just look at this front cover. Second printing, we know for sure. So that is the second printing book. Awesome. Well, that's great to figure that out.
That's always fun, right?
Yeah. been nicer if it's a first print or even better, third print.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
so sometimes with books like that, I'll go on eBay and look for a CGC copy of it, and then just specify that I'm looking for a second print, and then I'll kind of look around and see what the difference is between that and first print. I'm looking at it right now. With that one, it would be the barcode with the number 2 at the end.
Okay, so they did in '99 use the barcode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know that's how
pretty-
you tell nowadays, but I didn't know how far it went back. So at least the past 20 years, they've been using the barcodes like that.
Yeah.
So that's good to know. So there's two ways. Read
Because that has a 5-letter barcode, so that's more modern. The ones with 2 letters, those are the hard. Those barcodes don't really like tell you anything.
2 letters or 2 numbers?
Oh, 2 numbers. Yeah, my bad.
Okay. So like this one that only has the 2 numbers at the bottom.
Yeah, I see that it doesn't really help you out as far as any information.
Oh, that's all right. Okay. Well, cool. Well, what else are we talking about? Or are we?
Well, all my comic shops are closed until this whole Corona.
Oh, they
thing.
are?
But yeah.
So where do you?
Actually,
What state do you live in?
Los Angeles.
Oh, dude, you live in California. I'm so sorry. See, me and him, we have the joy of living in the deep South.
I
So
know.
yesterday we went around. There's people everywhere in all the stores. I mean, we're not stupid. We're taking precautions, but we walked in multiple comic shops and hunted for some books. We just squirted some hand sanitizer before we touched our faces after we were done. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, these shops out here, they really have done the best that they could until I guess last night when they implemented the whole shutdown. But they were going as far as to like only letting 5 people in the store at a time to pick up their pull list. Then they were doing a curbside service where you would just park your car, pick up your pull list or any books that you needed, supplies, and they would deliver it to your car. And then some of them even went as far as to doing free delivery. I mean, these stores are going all out just to survive. Now they're at the point where they can't even open at all, so they got to rely on mail services.
I think y'all's states like New York, California, I think they're a little crazy, but they're not going to have any more Corona.
Won't have no more businesses either, though.
That's a pretty good way to do it. The only problem is how many people are going to lose their livelihood because they were forced to shut down. That's the bad part.
Yeah, it's like a trickle effect, man. I mean, you have people that can't go to work right now, can't go to school. It's definitely like Rob Liefeld. I'm not a fan of his or anything, but I kind of ran into his live stream yesterday, and he was saying, out of his 53 years of life, this is the worst he's ever seen it ever.
Well, even
so
during swine flu, I don't think we went this crazy.
No, we didn't.
And that thing killed 200,000 people in America. It's just now over 200,000 of the world.
Yeah,
so it's nowhere
they're predicting
bad, but
yeah, they're predicting. I don't know if it's just in California or worldwide that 56% of the population is going to contract it in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's
that was on interviewing with the president and some people. They said that they asked that question. I don't know if it's true or not, but it was for just America.
Yeah. Okay. That's crazy. Like if you think about it, half of the population is going to get this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
Going to die, so I don't think we should go, that crazy about it. But
but the problem is though is that hospitals can only hold so many people. I mean, there's only so much medical resources out here like that we can that we have access to, and even that's kind of dwindling down where some doctors don't even want to go to work right now. I mean, it's pandemonium almost. It kind of sucks because it's like you think that we'd be prepared for stuff like this, and we're really not. It's kind of like an eye-opening experience.
Apparently, we're actually very prepared, or at least we're doing a good job. Because, like I said, not even 200. I mean, barely over 200,000 for the world have got it. Swine flu, 200,000 in America died. So I think it's pretty good. I'll pull it up here. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
So do you guys go comic shopping together a lot, or is it just like a one time?
No, he's in Mississippi. I'm in Alabama, so he just happened to be up here for work.
Is that your first? Is that your first time going together, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's always kind of weird, like comic shopping with somebody else. I feel like I do a lot of work on my own, so to kind of like share that experience with someone, because I'm like so zoned out, you know what I mean, and I might not be able to like interact with the person I'm with,
Right.
like we're flipping through books and I'm just like so like just focused, and I kind of feel like an ass sometimes because I don't like talk.
Right. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm focusing right here, on the importance.
Right, yeah. It's like you jump into this run and you're like, oh, is this issue in here? And you're like flipping through and they're trying to like ask you questions, or if you ever gone with somebody that doesn't really know too much and you thought they did, and they ask you like, hey, is there anything up with this book? What about this book? What about this book? And it's just like, come on, man.
Yeah. My 13-year-old son does that. He's like, hey, what about this one? Or what about this one? I'm like, no.
Man. Yeah.
I know you're trying to be nice and I know you're trying to help.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is. Right now, or within the past 9 hours or so, we got 259,314 confirmed cases, 11,286 deaths, and 87,377 fully recovered.
Wow.
That's worldwide.
Okay.
Let's see, just in the U.S., let's see.
Oh, worldwide. Okay.
That's worldwide, dude.
That's counting China, Italy. That's not bad, right?
The U.S. alone has 17,402 confirmed cases. 121 people have fully recovered, and 224 people have died. 74 of those in Washington State, 40 of the 74 in one nursing home.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
Jesus Christ.
the facts are stubborn things, right? I mean, and put it in perspective about how many people have died from the flu, and nobody's worried about any of that. Oh, that's, I mean, you know.
Well, another thing that's kind of happening around here is we're seeing like a lot of army jeeps. I've seen like 4 of them already, just driving home from work. So it kind of seems like, and then like the helicopters and stuff. So it kind of seems like something is brewing, and we're not really being told anything. That's just what it seems like. Because it's like, what, I'm on streets that you never see. I was in like Compton earlier, and I saw like, our army vehicles and stuff, and it's just like, that's weird. Like, you don't see that every day.
Well, I mean, think about what everybody would be rising up right now if they said, "Hey, the flu's bad. Everybody go home, don't go to work, and we're going to quarantine you, and you can't do anything." But with Corona, we're okay with it. I mean, I understand that it's for the greater good. It's kind of like the speed limit, right? You got to have laws, otherwise people go crazy. I understand that, but at the same time, little by little, we're giving our rights away to the point to where
at some point you have to have the freedom to make bad decisions. People we have been living longer and longer, even with all this, global warming stuff, all that stuff taken into account. We've been living longer until recently, in the past 30, 40 years, America has stopped living longer and sort of stagnated, but the rest of the world, like in Europe, has lived a bit longer. And that's because one reason is we are free to make bad decisions. If I want to smoke, Biggie Shaq likes to smoke. He wants to smoke, he can smoke. This is America, baby.
Exactly.
He does? I never knew that. I'm just kidding.
You watch Biggie Shaq? He smokes like 4 cigarettes before.
Oh, I know. I watch his live streams when he's going into liquor stores. First off, buying a pack of cigarettes.
But I can do it. But probably get Corona.
Yeah. Well, and I've been over to Europe, and that's the big thing over there. The gas prices. Everybody drives a moped. We like our big SUVs. Over there, nobody buys a Coke, because the last time I went to Italy, a bottle of Coke, little bottle of Coke, was $8 in American money. So because of the prices, they have cut people out of doing those bad things. That's what New York tried to do, Bloomberg, when he said, "Hey, you can't get a big gulp. We're going to tax you for it." Yeah. Look, it's a free country. If people want to be stupid, it's not against the law. Yeah. And so for us to think that we need a nanny state, we don't know what we're asking for.
Yeah. One of the other things that's kind of alarming is I've seen videos of, I think it was in San Francisco, people walking into the local Walmart and just taking meds and walking out. Like, that's just the beginning of, like, that being kind of normal, because everyone's so paranoid right now.
Well, it's panic. You don't make good decisions when you're drunk or when you're panicked. And right now, a lot of people are panicking. It's just like when you're sick and you go to the doctor and they're like, "Okay, you have a virus." They're like, "Well, give me an antibiotic." But antibiotics are for bacteria. Well, give me an antibiotic, but that won't help you. Give me an antibiotic. So they give them an antibiotic because they've been to the will of screaming patients. And guess what? We all have, bacteria that are resilient to antibiotics now because we just keep wanting them even though they don't help. Sometimes we suffer through viruses like Corona. Most of us are just going to have to suffer through it if we get it. A few of us are at risk of dying because of it, like the elderly and stuff. But I just did I love my financial calculator on my phone. We are not even at 18,000 people confirmed cases. Forget deaths. We're not even at 18,000 in America confirmed. Mm-hmm. Let's say we have 200,000 people die of this thing just in America. with our population, that means it would be a death rate of 0.057%.
Wow. Yeah, it does put things into perspective, you know?
Yeah. So I think we're going to have a lot of funerals for great grandpas and grandmas, but maybe a few sad funerals for some babies, but that's probably going to be it. We'll be okay. Everything will get better. I'm not going to say don't shelter in place if you are, but I mean, what if your job requires you to go out, you know? So and you can't work. And I don't know if you'll be okay at that point. Hopefully you will be. But I can tell you a few things. And that's right now is the best time to be investing in the stock market because everything is so low. When it bounces back, baby, you are going to be in the money. And this is a great time to try and look for and maybe buy your Grail.
There you go. That's how I got this, guys.
Because prices are so low.
Because WonderCon got postponed or canceled, I was able to get this. I mean, it's just the opportunity arose, and I'm just like, hey, I'm not going to the convention anytime soon, so let's pull the trigger.
Yeah,
you know.
Besides, I mean, the people keep wanting to sell their books, but then everybody's going to have their books. So the prices, no one's going to want to spend for the price you want for the book. So you'll probably be able to get some deals with some people who were horrible planners and didn't prepare and are just spending all their money on toilet paper, you know. So
yeah, for sure.
Liz, what's going on, man? We have no idea. I was showing off books and then we wound up talking about Corona.
Now we're back to comics though, right?
Yeah. Well, comics and Corona.
Yeah.
So now that you brought it back to comics, did you guys know that with this whole Punchline character, did you know that Antarctic Press had a Punchline character prior to the one that exists now?
Uh-oh. They're not wanting to sue DC or something, are they?
I don't know anything about that, but those books are going for like $50 a pop, which I think were dollar issues prior to this. And there's no significance, like there's no connection or nothing to that character with this Antarctic Press. Bring it up, man. Look on eBay right now, dude. It's crazy. Like there's only a few copies online, but people are like, you know, somebody spent $75 on an A and B cover just for that. I mean, it's
people that buy all the toilet paper and eggs.
Yeah, but that's pretty interesting though, because I think the character came out in 2019. There was a free comic book day. Yeah, I mean.
So did you hear about the Spider-Man villain that was named Corona that released the virus?
Yeah.
That's funny.
And also that Punchline character, the 5th issue is a Hulk 181 homage cover. So
it's a foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I think we about wound it up, fellas. We've been going for I didn't expect to be on this long. It's an hour and 49 minutes.
It was a good time, man. It was good stuff.
Well, I'm glad I went through all that stuff because I wanted to look at it all again and double check, take a look at what I wanted to see about getting graded and all. And I later will glitch. But here's one question that I didn't ask that I do think I need to ask, and that's I don't trust CCS to press my book in a timely manner.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also have heard multiple horror stories from multiple people about them damaging books.
Yeah. So, well, don't they outsource their work?
I think they CGC and CCS are in the same building.
Oh, okay. All right.
But they're two different companies. So when it comes to these books that I need pressed, I'm thinking about doing CBCS and then have them grade them. But you think I should probably wait because they're supposed to have new cases and new labels the first of next month. So I'm thinking,
I would wait. I'm not really digging the cases that they have now. I mean,
well, they got
kind of
coming out.
yeah.
Well,
I think I would wait for the new ones to be
I'm
honest.
thinking I
'Cause
might
the-
pull some of these that are for sale off of the for sale long enough to check that out and get them graded.
yeah,
And then once I get them graded, then sell them.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
But
might be more appealing too. I mean, that might actually like raise the price a little bit, you know.
yeah. But
I feel like the labels they have now are kind of dull, to be honest.
I like them.
The labels? You like the labels?
Yeah, I think they're all right. I mean, they could be better, but I like them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Oh,
label for this verified signature, I'm like, it just kind of, it doesn't really pop. But CGC, they know how to do labels, but
yeah, but
yeah.
CGC doesn't need another label color for verified. They only do the one kind, so they have to have something. Yeah. Thanks, Gray Man. Thanks for stopping by. But I know my Batman Beyond is in such good condition. I think I should have no problem getting a 9.8 with it graded and not pressed. Worst case scenario, it's a 9.6, and that's still an almost $300 book. So I'm going to probably send that one in here this week, or well, today's Friday, not this week, but next week, and just get it straight graded and not even press it.
Yeah.
And
Oh no, I usually press all my books before I send them out because
I do too. Not myself, obviously. I get them pressed, but with that particular one, I don't think it needs it, and I would rather have it in a CGC slab. So I think I'm just gonna send it in.
Yeah.
See what happens, I guess. But yeah, I've got all these books, but I'm thinking, although they are for sale, if someone's willing to buy them at what would grant me a profit, I'll probably sell most of them. But for the most part, I'm not going to do any auctions or anything until some of this stuff dies down, maybe. Just in case, because man, last Friday there were like 20 bazillion auctions Friday and Saturday. And Sunday.
Yesterday there was a bunch on Instagram. You ever check out the Instagram ones?
I don't like Instagrams.
Yeah, me neither. But I usually just sit back and kind of watch them while I drive or something like. I'll have it running in the background. But yeah, I like the YouTube ones better. They're more they're better. They're well done compared to the Instagram ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, Big Will, just go ahead and send me that New Mutants 100 newsstand and that Alf book. I got $20. I can PayPal you today.
As tempting as that may be.
And didn't you want that Batman?
No.
Oh, the Poison Ivy too?
Yeah, I want that one too.
Okay.
Throw it in. I'll give you 50 more bucks.
Now you have $70 to
wish. All right. Well, I think we're going to end on that note, fellas.
All right, man. Well, thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun showing off some of my books.
I appreciate you being on. Help me with the boredom. Man, I was worried about making it to 5 o'clock. It's already 5:30 now. That's awesome.
Not over here. We're 2 hours behind.
And here's Alf again. So thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks for all your comments and just watching. Love you. Thanks, Comics on the Edge and the Southern Comic Geek for hopping in here and talking with me. Appreciated it. It's nice to show off books, but it's even nicer when you can bounce off somebody. And
for sure.
We will see you guys. Oh, before we see them later, either one of you want to say anything going on your channels?
Comics on the Edge, you first.
No, just my YouTube channel. I got a it's on Comics on the Edge. I usually post haul videos and
What
stuff
the
like
hell?
that.
Don't you guys work?
My wife and kid just came in, so
I got you a coffee.
all right, thank you. Yeah, that's about it. Follow me on Instagram, Comics on the Edge. I show like a lot of my the latest books that I've gotten. So if you want to see like a preview of that, just follow me there.
Oh.
That's pretty much all I got.
Okay, stop it.
All right. And you?
Well, yeah. As for me, I do have a 400 subscriber giveaway going on right now. If everybody wants to check out that video and see how to win or enter to win on that,
Hi,
you
YouTube.
can check that video out on my channel. Other than that, not much, but just peruse in the chat.
Well, all right. Well, speaking of subscribers, I think like 12 or something or 10 away from 400. So if you haven't subscribed to me, hey, do it. I have no reason for you to. Just do it.
Did I get it right?
It's nice having round numbers. Well, other than that, thanks, everybody. We'll see y'all later.
Thank you.
All right.